The blizzard was so fierce that the windows rattled as if they might shatter at any moment. The howling wind wrapped around the small house like a terrifying scream. Outside, the thermometer read -15 degrees, and darkness was already falling. But the real cold would begin the next morning, when police cars surrounded their house. 8-year-old Lily lay in her bed, wrapped in a blanket, listening to the storm outside. Her father had said at dinner, nobody should go outside tonight. Her mother had placed old towels along the window frames to keep the cold air from seeping in. Her little brother Ethan was already asleep. But Lily couldn't sleep, because she had heard a sound. At first it was lost in the wind, almost like a dream. Was it a whimper? A cry? Lily got up, pulled her blanket tightly around her shoulders, and walked to the window. She wiped the glass with her hands, clearing the fog. Outside was pure white. The snow was falling so heavily that she couldn't see 2 meters ahead, and then she heard it again. Clearer this time, a thin, desperate whimper. Her heart started racing. "Is someone calling for help?" she whispered to herself. She pressed her ear against the door. The sound was coming from outside, from the porch. "Mom! Dad!" she called out, but the television was too loud. Nobody heard. Lily hesitated for a moment. She remembered her father's rule: never open the door during a storm. But that sound was asking for help. She could feel it. She took a deep breath and turned the door handle. When she cracked the door open slightly, the cold air hit her face like a knife. She blinked, her breath turning to vapor, and the sight before her made her heart stop. 2 small German shepherd puppies huddled together on the porch steps, shivering violently. Their fur was coated with ice. Their tiny paws were nearly frozen. Their eyes were wide open, and there was such fear in them that Lily's breath caught. "You," she whispered. "What are you doing here?" One of the puppies looked at her with brown eyes and whimpered so pitifully that Lily's heart broke. The other was shaking so violently it couldn't even lift its head. Lily didn't look back. She didn't think, she just acted on instinct. She rushed outside, her knees sinking into the snow. The cold immediately numbed her legs, but she didn't care. With both hands, she scooped the puppies into her arms, one in her left arm, one in her right. They were both so light it scared her. Their bodies were ice cold. Their trembling was so intense she could feel it in her arms. "I'm taking you inside," she said, her teeth chattering. "I promise, I'll save you." She kicked the door open, rushed inside, and slammed it shut behind her. The sound of the wind cut off. The warmth of the house hit her face, but she was still shivering. She gently placed the puppies on the floor, on the carpet. Neither could move. Their eyes were open, but there was a dullness in them. Lily panicked. "Mom! Dad! Emergency!" She screamed so loudly this time that her voice cracked. Her father came running, followed by her mother. Both were shocked to see the frozen, wet puppies. "Lily, where did these come from?" her mother said. "They were outside. They were dying." Lily's eyes welled up. "I can't leave them, Mom, please." Her father knelt down and examined the puppies. One's paws had turned purple. The other's nose was bone dry from the ice. "They're freezing," he said seriously. "We need to act now." Lily didn't waste a second. She ran to the bathroom and grabbed the softest towels. She heated warm water in the kitchen, not too hot, lukewarm. Following her mother's instructions, the puppies were slowly wrapped in warm towels. Lily built a blanket fort in the middle of the living room. She brought the hairdryer and began drying their fur on low heat. Hours passed. It was 11 p.m. Her mother and father were tired and had gone to check on Ethan, but Lily stayed awake. Her eyes were closing, but she wouldn't let them, because one of the puppies was still whimpering. The other couldn't open its eyes. "Hang on," she whispered. "Please hang on." She warmed milk, poured it into a spoon, and gave it to them, drop by drop. At first, they couldn't swallow, but Lily didn't give up. Slowly, the drops went in, and then a miracle happened. The smaller puppy stuck out its tongue and licked the spoon. Lily's face lit up. "Yes, that's it." The other puppy opened its eyes too. First blurry, then with a clearing gaze, it looked at Lily, and then very slowly, it wagged its tail. Lily cried, from joy, from relief, from exhaustion. The puppies were alive. She stayed with them until morning. She told them stories about princesses, dragons, brave children. She sang songs, hummed lullabies, and the puppies, slowly, moved closer to her. Around 4 a.m., the brown-eyed puppy pressed its nose against Lily's cheek. It was warm. The other climbed into her lap, curled up with its tiny body, and fell asleep. Lily lay down on the blanket, wrapping her arms around the puppies. "You're safe," she whispered. "You're safe now." But there was something Lily didn't know. Miles away, on the North Road, beside an overturned rescue van, as an injured man was being carried to an ambulance, he was saying only one thing. "The puppies. Please find my puppies." Part 2. Police Arrival Plus. Truth Revealed. 7:14 Min. The Dawn of Truth. The first light of dawn crept through the curtains like a whisper. The storm had finally passed. Outside, the world was buried under a thick blanket of pure white snow. Tree branches bent low under the weight. The streets were silent, untouched. Perfect. But that silence was about to be shattered. Lily had barely closed her eyes when she heard it. A sound that didn't belong to the peaceful morning. A low rumble. An engine. Then another. And another. Her eyes snapped open. The puppies were still curled against her, breathing softly, finally warm and safe. She didn't want to move. She didn't want to break this perfect moment. But then she saw the lights. Blue, red, flashing through the window curtains in rhythmic pulses. Her stomach dropped. "No," she whispered. She crawled to the window, careful not to wake the puppies, and peeked through the gap in the curtains. What she saw made her blood run cold. 3 police cars, parked right in front of her house, officers standing outside, radios crackling, breath visible in the cold air. One of them was pointing at her house. Another was holding something, a tablet, maybe a photo. Lily's mind raced. Did I do something wrong? Are they here for the puppies? Will they take them away? Her hands started shaking. One officer walked up to the porch. His boots crunched in the snow. He knocked on the door. 3 firm, commanding knocks. Boom, boom, boom. "This is the police. We need to speak with the residents. Please open the door." Lily's heart hammered so hard she could hear it in her ears. She looked back at the puppies. They were stirring now, ears twitching at the sound of voices. "No, no, no," she whispered frantically. "They can't take you. I won't let them." She grabbed both puppies and ran to her blanket fort, tucking them deep inside, covering them with pillows. "Stay quiet," she begged. "Please stay quiet." Footsteps rushed down the hallway. Her mother appeared, hair messy, still in her robe, eyes wide with confusion. "What's happening? Why are the police here?" "I don't know." Lily's voice cracked. Her father was already at the door. He glanced back at Lily, saw the panic in her eyes, and gave her a reassuring nod. Then he opened the door. Cold air rushed in. So did 3 officers. The lead officer was tall, with a weathered face and kind eyes, but his expression was serious. He stepped inside, snow still clinging to his uniform. "Good morning, folks. Sorry to disturb you so early. I'm Officer Daniels. This is Officer Crane and Officer Liu." Lily's mother pulled her robe tighter. "Is everything all right? Has something happened?" Officer Daniels scanned the room. His eyes moved slowly, methodically. He was looking for something, or someone. "We're searching for 2 German Shepherd puppies that went missing last night during the storm. We have reason to believe they may have ended up in this area." Lily felt like the floor had disappeared beneath her. Her father frowned. "Puppies? In this storm? How is that even possible?" Officer Crane stepped forward, holding up a tablet. On the screen was a photo. 2 German Shepherd puppies. The exact same ones sleeping in Lily's blanket fort. "There was an accident last night on the North Road," Officer Crane explained. "A rescue transport van was carrying these 2 puppies to a facility in the city. The driver swerved to avoid a deer, and the van flipped. He was trapped inside for nearly 4 hours before we could extract him." Lily's mother gasped, hand over her mouth. Officer Daniels continued. "When we got him out, the back doors of the van were open. The puppies were gone. We've been searching all night. Every house, every shed, every possible shelter within a 5-mile radius." Lily's father crossed his arms, processing. "And you think they came here?" "We found paw prints in the snow leading to this porch," Officer Liu said quietly. She was younger, with sharp eyes that seemed to see everything. "Small prints, puppy-sized. They led right to your front door and then stopped." All three officers looked at Lily. She froze. Officer Daniels knelt down slowly, bringing himself to her eye level. His voice softened. "Sweetheart, did you see any puppies last night?" Lily's throat tightened. She wanted to lie. She wanted to hide them forever. But when she looked into Officer Daniels' eyes, she saw something unexpected. Not anger, not suspicion, understanding. Her lip trembled. Tears spilled over. I heard them crying. They were freezing. I couldn't just leave them out there." Her mother turned sharply. "Lily, you went outside in that storm?" "They were dying, Mom." Lily's voice broke. "Their fur was covered in ice. They couldn't even move." Officer Daniels raised a hand gently. "It's okay. You're not in trouble." "Where are they now?" Lily hesitated. Then slowly, she walked to the blanket fort and pulled back the pillows. The two puppies blinked up at her, confused and sleepy. When they saw Lily, both their tails started wagging. Officer Liu gasped softly. "There they are." Officer Crane smiled, a real, warm smile. "You found them." Officer Daniels stood up slowly, pulling out his radio. "Dispatch, this is Daniels. We've located the missing puppies. They're safe. Repeat, both puppies are safe and unharmed." The radio crackled back. "Copy that, Daniels. Excellent work." Lily wiped her eyes, confused. I'm not in trouble?" Officer Daniels turned back to her, and this time he smiled, a tired, relieved smile. "Trouble? Lily, you didn't do something wrong. You did something incredibly brave." He knelt down again and gently picked up one of the puppies, examining it carefully. The puppy licked his hand. "This little one's body temperature is normal. Paws look good. No signs of frostbite." He looked at the other puppy. "Same with this one. You saved their lives." Lily's mother put her hand on Lily's shoulder, squeezing gently, but Officer Daniels' expression shifted. It grew more serious, heavier. "There's something else you need to know," he said slowly. "These aren't just any puppies." Lily frowned. "What do you mean?" Officer Crane stepped forward. "The rescue facility they were being transported to, it's not a regular shelter. It's a specialized training center." Officer Liu crouched down beside the puppies, stroking one gently. "These two are part of a very special program. They're being trained to become therapy dogs." "Therapy dogs?" Lily's father asked. Officer Daniels nodded. "They're trained to help people who've been through trauma, kids who've survived accidents, abuse, natural disasters, kids who can't sleep at night because of nightmares, kids who are too scared to talk about what happened to them." He looked directly at Lily. "These puppies are being trained to sit with those kids, to let them cry into their fur, to stay with them when they're scared, to remind them that they're not alone." Lily stared at the puppies, their big, innocent eyes, their soft, warm bodies. She had no idea. She thought she was just saving two lost dogs, but they were meant to save others. Officer Daniels' voice grew quieter. "The program has a waiting list of over 50 children. Kids who are counting on these dogs, kids who need hope." Lily's vision blurred with tears again. She looked down at the puppies, who were now nuzzling against her legs. I didn't know," she whispered. Her mother knelt beside her, wrapping an arm around her. "Sweetheart, you gave those children a chance. Because of you, these puppies will grow up to help them." Officer Liu smiled gently. "You didn't just save two puppies last night, Lily. You saved every child they're going to help in the future." Lily felt something swell in her chest. Pride, purpose, something bigger than herself. "But," she said quietly, "do you have to take them now?" Officer Daniels stood up. "We need to bring them to a veterinarian, a full checkup to make sure they're completely healthy. But after that," he paused, "after that they'll need someone who understands them, someone they trust." Lily looked up, confused. Officer Crane smiled. "Someone like you." "Me?" Officer Daniels nodded. "The training program works best when the dogs bond with someone early, someone who showed them kindness when they needed it most. The facility might want to talk to you about visiting, maybe even helping with their training." Lily's eyes went wide. "Really? Really?" She looked down at the puppies. One of them, the brown-eyed one, was staring right at her. Its tail wagged slowly, as if it understood every word. Lily knelt down and kissed both their heads softly. "You're going to help so many people," she whispered. "Be brave. Be strong." Officer Daniels gently picked up both puppies, cradling them carefully. "We'll take good care of them, I promise." As the officers walked toward the door, one of the puppies let out a soft, heartbreaking whimper. It was looking back at Lily. Lily ran forward. "Wait, will I really see them again?" Officer Daniels stopped at the door. He turned and looked her straight in the eye. "That's not just a maybe, Lily. That's a promise." And with that, the officers stepped out into the snow, carrying the puppies toward the waiting vehicle. Lily stood in the doorway, watching as they drove away, the red and blue lights fading into the white morning. Her mother hugged her from behind. "You did good, sweetheart. You did so good." But Lily didn't feel good. She felt empty, because for the first time in her life she had found something worth protecting, and now it was gone. The house felt different after they left. Lily walked back to her blanket fort and sat down in the exact spot where the puppies had slept. The blanket still smelled like them, that warm puppy scent mixed with the lavender detergent her mom used. She pulled one of the blankets to her chest and hugged it. It still had their warmth. Her mother sat down beside her, gently brushing Lily's hair back. "You okay, honey?" Lily nodded, but her eyes were wet. I miss them already." "I know. What if they forget me?" Her mother smiled softly. "Dogs don't forget kindness, Lily, especially not kindness like yours." But Lily wasn't so sure. That day at school, she couldn't focus. Her teacher, Mrs. Patterson, asked her 3 times to pay attention during math, but Lily's mind was miles away. She kept thinking about the puppies. Were they scared at the vet? Were they warm? Did they have food? Did they wonder where she was? At lunch, her best friend Maya noticed something was wrong. "You've been staring at your sandwich for 10 minutes, Maya said, sitting down across from her. "What's going on?" Lily hesitated. Then, slowly, she told her everything. The storm, the whimpers, the rescue, the police, the truth about the therapy dogs. Maya's eyes grew wider with every sentence. Wait, Maya said, holding up her hands. "You saved 2 puppies that are going to become therapy dogs? That's like superhero stuff." Lily shook her head. "I'm not a superhero. I just didn't want them to die." "That's literally what superheroes do, Lily." For the first time that day, Lily smiled a little. But the smile didn't last long, because that night, when she went to bed, she couldn't sleep. She kept replaying the moment the officer drove away, the way one puppy had looked back at her, the whimper, the longing in its eyes. She pulled the blanket, the one the puppies had slept on, over her head and cried quietly so her parents wouldn't hear. Days turned into waiting. The first week was the hardest. Every morning, Lily ran to the mailbox before school, hoping for a letter, hoping for news, anything. But there was nothing, just bills and advertisements. Her father tried to cheer her up. "These things take time, Lily. The puppies need to be checked thoroughly. The facility probably has a lot of procedures." "But what if they don't want me to visit?" Lily asked, voice small. Her father knelt down and looked her in the eyes. "Then we'll call them and ask, because what you did matters, and they know it." Still, the waiting gnawed at her. She started drawing pictures of the puppies. She taped them to her bedroom wall. 2 brown-eyed shepherds, side by side, surrounded by hearts. Beneath it, she wrote in her neatest handwriting, "Be brave. I believe in you." Her mother found her one evening, sitting at her desk, staring at the drawing. "You really love them, don't you?" Lily nodded. "I know I only had them for one night, but it felt like they were supposed to find me. Does that sound silly?" Her mother sat down beside her. "Not at all. Sometimes the universe puts people, or puppies, in our path exactly when they need us, and exactly when we need them." "But I don't need them," Lily said quietly. "They need me." Her mother smiled. "Maybe you need each other." The second week. At school, Lily's story started to spread. Maya had told a few friends, and those friends told others, and soon the whole 3rd grade class knew about the girl who saved the therapy puppies in the storm. Some kids thought it was cool, others didn't believe it. During recess, a boy named Derek walked up to her. "My cousin said you're lying. He said there's no way a kid saved 2 dogs in a blizzard." Lily's fists clenched. "I'm not lying." "Prove it." Lily stared at him. She didn't have proof. She didn't have photos. She didn't even have the puppies' names. Maya stepped between them. "She doesn't have to prove anything to you, Derek. Just because you've never done anything brave doesn't mean nobody else has." Derek scowled and walked away, but his words stuck with Lily. What if I never see them again? What if I never get proof? What if everyone thinks I made it up? That night, she prayed. She wasn't sure if she believed in prayers, but she closed her eyes tight and whispered into the darkness, "Please let them be okay. Please let them remember me. And please let me see them again." The letter. It arrived on a Saturday morning, 2.5 weeks after the rescue. Lily was still in her pajamas eating cereal at the kitchen table when her mother walked in holding an envelope. "Lily," she said slowly, eyes bright. "This is for you." Lily's heart stopped. The envelope was official looking. Thick paper. A printed label with her name. Lily Carter, CO, North Valley Therapy Dog Program. Her hands shook as she tore it open. Inside was a letter, typed, professional. But at the bottom, someone had added a handwritten note. She read it aloud, voice trembling. "Dear Lily, we wanted to reach out personally to thank you for your incredible act of courage on the night of the storm. Because of your quick thinking and selfless care, both puppies, now officially named Hope and Chance, survived without any lasting injuries. Hope and Chance have completed their health evaluations and are doing wonderfully. They are currently in the early stages of their therapy training, and their progress has been remarkable. Their temperament, resilience, and capacity for trust are exceptional. We believe a large part of that resilience comes from you. Therapy dogs form deep bonds with the people who show them love in their most vulnerable moments. Hope and Chance have not forgotten you. In fact, our trainers have noted that they respond most positively to recordings of a young girl's voice. We believe they're searching for you. We would like to formally invite you to visit the facility and meet with Hope and Chance. If you and your family are willing, we would also love to discuss the possibility of you participating in their training journey. These puppies saved lives by surviving. You saved lives by helping them survive. We hope to see you soon. Warm regards, Dr. Emily Thornton, Director, North Valley Therapy Dog Program. P.S. Hope still sleeps with a blanket that smells like lavender. We think she's dreaming of you." Lily's vision blurred. Tears streamed down her face, but this time they weren't sad. Her mother was crying too. "You're going to see them again, sweetheart." Lily looked up, eyes shining. "They remember me." "Of course they do." Her father walked into the kitchen. "What's all the commotion?" Lily ran to him, letter in hand. "Dad, they want me to help train them. They remember me." Her father read the letter, and his face softened. He looked at his daughter, this brave, beautiful, unstoppable little girl, and felt his throat tighten. "I'm so proud of you, Lily." She hugged him tight. "Can we go, please?" "We'll call them today." The reunion. The visit was scheduled for the following Saturday. Lily barely slept the night before. She kept imagining what it would be like to see them again. Would they really remember her? Would they run to her? Or would they look at her like a stranger? The drive to the facility felt endless. It was located just outside the city, surrounded by trees and open fields. The building was modern but warm. Large windows, wooden accents, a sign that read, "North Valley Therapy Dog Program, Healing Through Connection." Lily's stomach flipped as they walked inside. A woman in her 40s greeted them at the door. She had kind eyes and a warm smile. "You must be Lily?" Lily nodded, suddenly shy. "I'm Dr. Thornton. We spoke on the phone." She shook hands with Lily's parents, then knelt down to Lily's level. "Hope and Chance have been waiting for you." "They have?" "They've been restless all morning. It's like they know." Dr. Thornton led them through a hallway lined with photos, dogs with children, dogs with veterans, dogs with elderly people. Every photo showed the same thing: connection, trust, healing. They stopped at a door labeled Training Room 3. "Are you ready?" Dr. Thornton asked. Lily's heart pounded. "Yes." Dr. Thornton opened the door, And there they were, Hope and Chance, bigger now, healthier, their coats shiny and full. They were sitting side by side with the trainer practicing commands. But the moment the door opened, both their heads snapped up, their ears perked, their eyes locked on Lily. For one breathless second, nobody moved. And then Hope let out a sharp, joyful bark and bolted. Chance followed immediately. They ran across the room, paws skidding on the floor, tails wagging so hard their whole bodies wiggled. Lily dropped to her knees, arms wide open. The puppies crashed into her, knocking her backward. They licked her face, her hands, her hair. They whimpered and barked and circled her like she was the most important thing in the world. Lily laughed and cried at the same time, wrapping her arms around both of them. "I missed you," she sobbed. "I missed you so much." Hope pressed her nose against Lily's cheek, just like she had that first night. Chance curled into her lap just like before. They remembered. Dr. Thornton watched from the doorway, tears in her eyes. The trainer beside her smiled. "They've never reacted like that to anyone," the trainer whispered. Lily's parents stood together, holding hands, watching their daughter surrounded by the puppies she'd saved. Her father whispered, "She's going to change the world." Her mother nodded. "She already has." Dr. Thornton gave Lily and her family a few minutes alone with Hope and Chance before she spoke again. When the puppies finally calmed down, though their tails never stopped wagging, Dr. Thornton sat down on the floor with them, crossing her legs like she was part of the reunion. "Lily," she began softly, "what you did that night wasn't just rescue. It was the foundation of everything these dogs will become." Lily looked up, still holding Hope close. "What do you mean?" Dr. Thornton smiled. "Therapy dogs don't just need training. They need to understand love. They need to know what it feels like to be saved so they can save others. You gave them that experience." She gestured to the puppies. "Hope and Chance know what it's like to be cold, scared, and helpless. And they know what it's like when someone shows up, even when it's hard, even when it's dangerous, and says, 'I won't leave you.'" Lily's throat tightened. "That's the kind of love they'll give to the children they help," Dr. Thornton continued, "because you showed it to them first." Lily's mother wiped her eyes. Her father put his arm around her. Dr. Thornton stood up and extended her hand to Lily. "So here's what we'd like to propose. We want you to be part of their journey, not just as a visitor, but as a junior training partner." Lily's eyes went wide. "Really? Really? You'd come here twice a month. You'd work with our trainers. You'd help Hope and Chance learn commands, practice empathy exercises, and prepare for their certification." "But I'm just a kid," Lily whispered. Dr. Thornton knelt down again, looking her straight in the eyes. "You're the kid who didn't wait for someone else to do the right thing. You're the kid who heard a cry for help and acted. That's not just anything, Lily. That's extraordinary." Lily looked at her parents. Both of them were smiling, nodding. "Can I really do this?" she asked them. Her father crouched beside her. "You already did the hardest part, sweetheart. Everything else is just showing up." Lily turned back to Dr. Thornton, heart pounding. "Okay, I'll do it." Dr. Thornton grinned. "Then welcome to the team." The training months. The next 6 months changed Lily's life. Every other Saturday, her parents drove her to the facility. At first, she was nervous. She didn't know the commands. She didn't understand the techniques. But the trainers were patient, and Hope and Chance, they made it easy. Because every time Lily walked into the training room, they reacted the same way, pure, unfiltered joy. She learned how to teach them to sit and stay. She learned how to reward calm behavior. She learned how therapy dogs are trained to recognize anxiety, to lean into someone who's scared, to stay still when someone needs to cry. But more than that, she learned about the kids these dogs would help. One day, Dr. Thornton showed her a video. A little boy, maybe 6 years old, sitting in a corner of a room, arms wrapped around his knees. He wouldn't speak, wouldn't look at anyone. Then a therapy dog walked in. Slowly, gently. It sat down beside him, didn't push, didn't demand, just sat. After 10 minutes, the boy reached out and touched the dog's fur. After 20 minutes, he was crying into the dog's neck. After an hour, he said his first words in 3 months. "Good dog." Lily watched the video with tears streaming down her face. "That's what Hope and Chance are going to do?" she whispered. Dr. Thornton nodded. That's exactly what they're going to do. From that moment on, Lily trained with a new fire. She practiced voice commands until her throat was sore. She learned hand signals. She studied how to read a dog's body language, when they were stressed, when they were focused, when they were ready to connect. And Hope and Chance grew stronger, smarter, more intuitive. By the 4th month, they could sense when Lily was sad before she even realized it herself. If she had a bad day at school, they'd press against her legs the moment she walked in. If she was tired, they'd rest their heads on her lap. They weren't just dogs anymore. They were healers in training. The certification day, 6 months after the rescue, Hope and Chance were ready for their final certification test. Lily was invited to watch. The test was rigorous. The dogs had to remain calm in chaotic environments. They had to ignore distractions, loud noises, other animals, food on the ground. They had to respond to commands even when their handler was across the room. But the hardest part? The empathy test. A volunteer actor pretended to have a panic attack, shaking, crying, breathing hard. Hope and Chance had to approach calmly without being called and provide comfort. Lily watched, heart in her throat, as Hope slowly walked up to the actor. She didn't jump, didn't bark. She simply laid down beside them and rested her head on their leg. Chance followed. He sat on the other side, leaning his body weight gently against them. The actor, who wasn't really in distress, started to cry for real. "These dogs are incredible," he whispered. The evaluator marked the final score. Hope, certified. Chance, certified. The room erupted in applause. Lily jumped up, screaming, tears streaming down her face. Dr. Thornton hugged her, the trainers cheered, and Hope and Chance, as if they understood, barked in unison. The first assignment. 2 weeks later, Hope and Chance were given their first official assignment. A 9-year-old girl named Sophia had survived a car accident that killed her older brother. She hadn't spoken in 4 months. Therapists tried everything. Her parents were desperate. Hope was assigned to her case. Lily asked Dr. Thornton if she could know how it went. A week later, Dr. Thornton called her. "Lily, I need to tell you something." Lily's stomach dropped. "Is Hope okay?" "Hope is more than okay. She's a miracle." Dr. Thornton's voice shook. "Sophia spoke today, for the first time since the accident. Do you know what she said?" Lily waited, barely breathing. "She said, 'This dog loves me.'" Lily covered her mouth, sobbing. "And then," Dr. Thornton continued, "she asked if she could write a letter to the person who saved Hope because she wanted to say thank you." Lily couldn't speak. "You didn't just save 2 puppies, Lily. You saved every person those puppies will ever help. Do you understand that?" Lily nodded, even though Dr. Thornton couldn't see her. "I understand." 1 year later, Lily turned 10 years old on a sunny Saturday in May. Her parents threw her a birthday party in the backyard. Friends came. There was cake, games, and laughter, but the best gift came in an unmarked van. Dr. Thornton stepped out, smiling, and behind her, on leashes, were Hope and Chance. They were fully grown now, strong, beautiful, confident, but the moment they saw Lily, they pulled on their leashes like puppies again. Dr. Thornton laughed and let them go. Hope and Chance sprinted across the yard and tackled Lily to the ground, covering her with kisses. All the kids at the party gasped and cheered. "Are those the dogs?" Maya shouted. "Yeah," Lily said, laughing through happy tears. "These are my dogs." Dr. Thornton walked over, holding a framed certificate. "This is for you," she said, handing it to Lily. Lily read it aloud. "Certificate of Honor. Presented to Lily Carter. For extraordinary courage, compassion, and dedication to the mission of healing. In recognition of her role in the rescue and training of Hope and Chance, 2 certified therapy dogs who have provided comfort to 47 children in their first year of service. You didn't just save 2 lives. You changed hundreds." Lily stared at the number. 47. 47 kids who smiled again, who slept through the night, who felt safe, because one little girl heard a cry in a storm and didn't look away. Her father put his hand on her shoulder. "We're so proud of you, Lily." Her mother kissed her head. "You're our hero." But Lily shook her head. She knelt down and hugged Hope and Chance. "They're the heroes," she whispered. "I just gave them a chance." Hope licked her cheek. Chance rested his head on her shoulder, and in that moment, Lily realized something she'd carry for the rest of her life. Kindness is never small. It ripples, it grows, it saves people you'll never meet, and it starts with one choice, the choice to care. Epilogue, 3 years later. Lily is now 13. She volunteers at the North Valley Therapy Dog Program every weekend. She's helped train 16 dogs. She's written letters to dozens of kids who've been helped by those dogs. And Hope and Chance? They're legends. They've worked with over 200 children. They've been featured in news articles, documentaries, and even a children's book. But every few months, Dr. Thornton brings them back to visit Lily. And every single time, no matter how many kids they've helped, no matter how much they've grown, they still run to her like she's the only person in the world, because she was the first person who showed them that love is stronger than fear, that warmth can survive the coldest storm, and that sometimes the smallest act of courage can echo across a lifetime. If this story touched your heart, it's because you understand something powerful. You have the ability to change a life. Maybe it's not a puppy in a snowstorm. Maybe it's a friend who's struggling, a neighbor who's alone, a stranger who just needs someone to notice. The world doesn't need perfect people. It needs people who care enough to try. Lily was just 8 years old. She didn't have special powers. She didn't wait for permission. She just saw someone who needed help, and she helped. What if you're someone's hope? What if you're someone's chance? If this story moved you, do 3 things. 1, hit that like button, because stories like this deserve to be seen. 2, subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss another story that reminds you what humanity is capable of. 3, share this video with someone who needs hope today, because you never know whose life you might change. And leave a comment. Tell us.